What is going on, everybody? Today in this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about how to set up the Zim matrix. I know a lot of you mouse and keyboard players are looking for the best aim assist. Well, we got you guys covered, all right? So all the things that you need, like the forum and everything to download, will be linked in the description, all right? So all you have to do is go in the description. You're going to go first onto this community Zim tech thing, all right? It's a website. This is their forum. So I'll leave it again down in the description below. So first thing you're going to do, open that up. And then you're going to just want to make sure you create a profile, all right? So again, that's simple as, just logging in your email, and then creating a profile. And then you want to go ahead and download this updater tool, all right? You have to make sure you go ahead and update your Zim, right? Whatever you just got, you always have to make sure you update it. So you can see right here, you want to make sure you get the Zim beta matrix software. So if I go back, it's right here, the matrix download. So let's go and fast forward. You want to make sure you go ahead and download and click on the beta section back there, all right? So again, if we move back a little bit, you can see right there, click on beta. That's the one you're going to need. Right here, you can see clicking on. Just make sure you go ahead and download that. Once you do click on the Zim matrix, it's going to be the top one. Always click on that one. That's going to be the latest and the greatest softwares that you need. And in here, you're going to need, obviously, if you got a Mac, do the Mac download. For most people, though, they're running it on Windows. So just go ahead and do that. Also, the Zim Matrix beta does have an app, okay? So you can either download from the App Store, like it's telling you right there, or you can just click on this Android thing. Just go ahead and do that if you wanted to. You can load it up on Chrome, Google, or Safari, whatever you're using on your phone, and you'll be able to use that. It has a phone app that you can use, which we'll talk about later, but make sure you guys go ahead and download this PC updater tool, all right? You have to update the firmware, so make sure you get that. Again, everything linked in the description below. So let's go ahead and look at what it looks like. So that's your Zim, right? So on the Zim, there's one button right up here to the top. You have to make sure you're holding that when you open up the updater tool, all right? Whenever you go to update it, after you went and downloaded that, you have to make sure you're holding that button in as you plug your Zim matrix in at the top. It's a USB-C cable. You'll see it when you get it, but you have to make sure you're holding that and then plug that cable in from the top into your Zim. You see that right there? Obviously, the other end is going to be into your PC, whatever you're using to run that updater tool, but this is how it's done, all right? So again, just leave it held for a couple of seconds. This is what it looks like on the screen. Once you click it, you can see, then you just hit update, and then you just hit continue yes, and it's going to flash this white color. That's how you know it is updating, all right? You can see that white color. If you don't do that, that means it's not updating. So let's go ahead and let it do its thing. And then we'll move on to step number 2. There's going to be many parts to the setup. So I know it's kind of going fast, but try to follow along. If you can't, just rewatch the video. It's not that hard, all right? So again, once it went ahead and update, it'll do the flashing colors, and you'll say you can remove your device, which is pretty darn helpful, all right? Now, some basic things about using the Zim matrix, right? On the right-hand side is where you can plug in anything. There's a USB end right there. And then there's also a USB end on the left-hand side. Okay, left-hand side right here is where you can use to plug in anything that's a wireless device, like your mice, anything like that. Even if you have a wireless keyboard, I don't know why the heck you would have that, but you can put that in there. Wireless controller, stuff like that, you can go ahead and plug that in right there onto the left side only, all right? So this, again, you plug your Zim matrix in. It's going to do the little different colors. That's how you know it's working. You can see it's flashing at you like crazy. And then right there, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my mouse and keyboard on the right side. Actually, just my keyboard. And then my mouse right there, that's the wireless part. You see? You have to make sure you plug anything that's wireless into the left side of the Zim, okay? It cannot go on that right side. Got to make sure it's on that left side. And let's go ahead and continue on. So same thing, just press that little button at the top. And now we're going to go ahead and download that beta app from our phone. So again, in this video, I'm using an Android phone, but if you got a Apple phone, works the same way. Obviously, you can go into the Apple store and just look up the Zim matrix, and they also have an app you can download, but this, I feel like, works a little bit better. So there you go, Zim Matrix Manager. That's what the app is going to be called. All right, so you can go ahead and download that, and we're going to go ahead and skip around. So let us download. It's going to do its thing. Takes a little bit to download, but that's okay, because we need everything. Allow the location. Everything wants your location. You got to make sure that's on. And then also when you're using it on your phone, make sure your Bluetooth is on, guys. I know some people try to save battery and leave their damn Bluetooth up. Don't be cheap, all right? Just leave your Bluetooth on, man. So here's what it looks like. This is, again, the app that we're in now, all right? So this is the app that we will be using. You can hit new config, and then you got many different games you can choose from. Again, I'm not a big mouse and keyboard guy, but I know a lot of you guys are. So again, these are all the Call of Duty files. They got MW3, brand new one. Can't complain about that. And then at the bottom, you can see you can select your input, and then this is what it outputs as, right? You guys can see everything that you need is basically, it comes up pretty easy, right? Like they tell you what to do step by step, and obviously the video is going to help you even more. So there you go. We're adding the config in, and we should be able to go ahead and utilize it pretty darn soon. So let's go ahead and add the config. As we can tell, this is when you know it's connected. You can see at the top, right? You got the green arrow. You can hit your game settings right there, aiming source, mouse. This is, again, all your different keybinds. I highly recommend inside of Call of Duty, which we'll talk about in a little bit, you use normal keybinds, all right? Inside of the game, just use normal keybinds. Don't do anything unless you want to come in here and change it. You can see where we just went ahead in there. You are allowed to change it. But again, it seems like a big hassle most of the time when you're doing it. I personally don't recommend it. All right. Then again, we got the generic one that we can use. And this is so you are able to use your PC and your mouse and keyboard. You don't have to constantly plug them in and out. This part's super helpful. So make sure you set the generic one up. All right. As well as whatever you're playing. And I'm going to assume you're playing on mouse and keyboard. All right. And I'm going to assume you're playing on PC. If you're playing on Xbox, PlayStation, you don't need to do this part, all right? So you don't need to do this. And we can go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. So again, this is just the generic, right? So you'll be able to use your mouse and keyboard on your PC without having to unplug everything, all right? So there you go. Label it G, just label it desktop so you know whenever you click on that one, you're able to use your desktop normally. You don't have to worry about anything else, right? So this is just normal using your mouse and keyboard on your desktop. So that one's important. Make sure you go ahead and get that one installed as well. It's just make a new config for it. All right. So again, always just says save at the top left once you're done adjusting everything. And then we can go ahead and skip. So you want to make sure you do this part right here. It's just set your input coords so your mouse and keyboard are working, right? It says navigate mode active, so then you're able to navigate your desktop. Now here we are back inside of the game, and again, controller settings are super important. You want to make sure you put it on controller, right? Go over to your aiming and put your sensitivities at max. So copy this. This has to be on 2020 or the Zim will not work for you, all right? Put that bad boy on 2020. All the rest of the settings don't really matter. Just make sure, again, your keybinds are just default. You don't really change anything because that's going to lead to a lot of worse action. So right here, we're going to go and show you guys the anti-recoil and the aim assist in action. So I'll go ahead and just let it play just to show you guys. You can see recoil's working. And the stickiness of the aim assist is when I'm moving left and right, right? You guys can see that. It's sticky, and again, we are using mouse and keyboard. So you get normal recoil of mouse and keyboard, which, again, is basically no recoil. Look at the WSP Swarm now. This is a gun that has a lot of recoil, and it's still beaming, right? So just switching through all the guns, and this is what it looks like, the aim assist with snipers. I think a lot of you guys would like to see that. So again, this is sniper. So you can see the sticky aim assist is indeed active, and it's strong. Look at that. Look how sticky it is when I just move left and right. So hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. We're going to be making many parts to this exact Zim Matrix. So we're going to do more setup videos. So stay tuned on the channel. Catch you on the next one. Peace out, Panda Gang. Aight.